Welcome to the Locker Room Chat. We're live from Calhoun's on the River in Oak Ridge. Come on out tonight. Come by and see us, or come by later on and see Coach Gaddis at 8 o'clock tonight for the Coach's Corner. I think we got Jefferson and Robertsville both be in the house tonight. They got a big game coming up Thursday night, so they'll have some guests tonight, I'm sure.
Barbecue? They cook barbecue here?
Cook barbecue. Oh
my
yes.
Goodness.
You know what, E?
Oh, it smells
I
good.
know now that you feel like I feel. I see Barry didn't buy you no coffee tonight.
Oh, no, I forgot to go. He sent me a coupon.
He sent you a coupon.
And I didn't stop by there.
If he sent you a coupon, you were lucky to
That's
get a coupon. That's all
Ron
I got to say.
He gives me a Starbucks every time.
Yeah, sure.
He does.
Anyway, we're going in, getting ready to go in week 7 of high school football. Any surprises, ET? Just right off the top of your head, is there a surprise? Is there a surprise team, or either way, good, bad, ugly, whatever? I mean, is there a surprise team?
Well, I'm gonna go to the last Oak Ridge Sevierville game. Now I saw Sevierville on TV a couple of weeks ago and totally impressed. What I saw with Sevierville, they've always seemed to come up with a real strong rushing game and a good defense always. And Oak Ridge beat Sevier County. That was a big turn to me. Oak Ridge maybe didn't play as good a defense as they wanted to 2 or 3 weeks ago, but when they turned it over and beat Sevierville, Oak Ridge may be back. I think you got some momentum with that victory, and you've got to see it that way. The way I see the season, David, you play your first couple of games, and I think coaches at that point, I think you have a starting lineup, but I think you're still making adjustments at that time. You come to the 5th ball game, you need to be where you need to be, because the next 2 or 3 games are probably real tough district games, and you're working your way toward playoffs then. So they need to be where they need to be at this section, at 5th and 6th game.
I don't know that I've got a surprise team or somebody that's either way right now. I will say I think one of the better teams in the area is Anderson County.
Absolutely. Yes.
Not that we didn't sort of predict that early on, talk about it, because they had a really good freshman class a couple years ago, and now these young men are juniors. So we were saying that's what probably would happen, or we thought would happen anyway. But Coach Terry, if you're watching tonight, Coach, I got challenged Friday night.
Did you?
Yeah, Coach Terry gave Brad a text and asked me to count. I really didn't know what he meant at first, and Brad said, "Hey, Coach Terry wants you to count." Well, I figured it out. So at halftime, I counted, okay?
Counted what?
I counted the people in the stands for Heritage, because I'd got on him about, the traveling.
Sure.
So if you take the band away, I would think there probably maybe were 50 people there for Heritage. Good crowd from Anderson County. In fact, standing crowd from Anderson County. So I don't know, Coach Terry. Maybe he'll text Brad and tell him in a minute I'm wrong or something. But
he was expecting, I guess, because they're in the Chattanooga district, they're expecting even the teams that come to Anderson County, they don't bring many people. And,
I don't think there's anybody that can beat Anderson County in that region.
Totally.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen this week. If it's going to happen, I don't think it's going to happen. Because listen, here's what Anderson County's got that a lot of other teams are going to: 2 good running backs,
great quarterback,
yes, and about 6, 7 kids that can catch the ball. Now, offensive and defensive front that is really physical.
Yep.
Now, back in the day when Richie Noe played up there, and I know a little bit about that because I hung around up there because my buddy was the coach up there. Back when I hung around up there, and Richie Noe was a pretty good athlete. But Richie Noe ain't nothing like his son. His son's 10 times better than him. I'd tell Richie if he's standing. His son's a good football player. And there's some other kids on that. I don't know all of them's name, but we had the game Friday night, and I'm impressed with Phillips and Gallagher, the running backs, and Stanton Martin. I mean, they got the ball with less than 2 minutes, and I believe it was right before halftime, wasn't it, Brad? Right before halftime, got the ball with less than 2 minutes, and we said, well, let's see what they can do in 2 minutes. And with about 38 seconds left, they were kicking off because they had scored.
Right.
They'd run the field down and scored. So, Anderson County's got a good football team. I think it possibly is the best in this area right now.
David, I think what high schools want to do is get into their feeder programs, and Anderson County has done that, because that offensive defensive line you're talking about, was at Norris
Middle
Middle School here
yeah.
3 or 4 or 5 years ago, and they've stayed together. And Coach No or Dr. No is responsible for that part of it. And of course, you get to high school, you got to get bigger and stronger and more aggressive, and they have done that.
It's no doubt that they've done that. They've got aggressive, and I think that's something that Coach Gillum thought a couple years ago. They weren't very aggressive and they weren't very physical. Man, they're a physical football team, and that young man right there, I'm amazed by his story anyway, the story that he's got that goes along with it. But it's good to see him really doing well. And like I said, they've got 6 or 7 kids that know how to catch the ball, and there's an example right there. After they catch the ball, they know what to do with it.
Exactly,
so
right.
That's what I think makes him a big threat. So,
well, you talk about the surprise team. Maybe we need to talk about Powell a little bit.
Powell could be a surprise team. I think they've jumped out 4-1 or something.
5-1.
5-1.
Yeah.
So it's a team that I think the last couple of years they only won one ball game or didn't win any maybe.
Rodney Ellison came from offensive coordinator at Clinton. He came to Powell, and I've talked to him after that, and he said, "My goodness, I got a freshman quarterback, and I don't know what I've done coming over here." And he took his lumps the first couple of years, and David, it's paid off because those kids have stayed together once again with a quarterback now that's got a lot of snaps, so they're doing well.
And if you see that region there, you see what that region looks like with Powell sitting there at third, and so it'll be interesting to see how that all works out later on. I think the Powell will be fighting for when it's all said and done, fighting for the 4th place in Campbell County. I know that we're in region play here from here on out. It looks like, and there'll be some. This picture will get a little bit clearer.
Well, I think Coach Gaddis just walked in, but then I had made the statement that I think the Sevierville game that Oak Ridge took this last Friday night and played a heck of a ball game is a good momentum builder against a very fine Sevierville ball club, which may pay off dividends going into probably some tough district games for Oak Ridge. They stand up there at the top, so I think the Sevierville game was a key game for them.
It probably was, and like I said, just the surprise. If there is a surprise in that region, it would probably be Powell, I would think. And I don't know if West. I think a lot of people thought West might be up there in the top couple, but apparently they're having some difficulties right now. So
didn't have a quarterback to transfer, maybe some injuries, so forth, throw on. But West usually puts a pretty good team on the field.
They've had it over the last 4 or 5 years. They've had a good run, and I think they got a new. I think they went through a couple coaches in the last couple of years over there.
After they won the state, kind of dissolved after that.
Yeah, it kind of went downhill a little bit after that. So I don't know. If you look there at how Alcoa goes up and plays with a team that says they're a powerhouse and thinks they're a powerhouse, which I personally don't think they are, in Dobbins Bennett, but Alcoa goes up and I don't care what they beat them by, whether it's 1 or 50.
Right.
I mean, that's an impressive win for
there.
Alcoa,
right.
Especially to go up there and had to come back in order to do that. So I think it's a DB program that's not like it used to be back in the past. It's a program that's down and has been down and going down for 2 or 3 years now.
What happened to CAK? They seem to have really taken their lumps this year because they lost the coach and trying to put something together there, but they haven't put together the offensive numbers that they did just 3 or 4 years ago.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. And same thing at Grace. Grace, they've been taking it on the chin too. That's another team that's having some trouble. But CAK, since Rusty Bradley leaves and he comes back to Grace.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe in those private schools like that, you run through a point where you run through your athletes, and then you gotta come back and restock it. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. And I don't know. What I think Grace and CAK are finding out, life on the private side is not too good.
But Bradley likes to throw the ball in a passing offense, and I just wonder if the personnel matches his thought process.
Probably,
and that's what he's good at, good passing ball.
Probably at Grace right now, that doesn't match his style of play. It doesn't match it. So
exactly.
Team that just keeps on chugging along, taking care of business. Cofield plays Marion County, a team that's really pretty good. Cofield hangs 48 on them. I think Cofield's got one of the best quarterbacks in the area, being Parker McKinney. So it'll be a big game for Cofield, though. We'll decide the region and probably home field advantage through the playoffs. Next Thursday night, Cofield lines up against Greenback. I think Greenback's got a bye this week. Their coach is going to be out from that game. Greenback's coach, he's suspended. He got kicked out of a football game. So And another team, if you look there, another team that's doing, and I'll say Kingston and Carnes both, but I'll talk about Carnes first.
Right, exactly.
Carnes is a team that's been down, but that coach is stuck with that program over there, and they're winning some ball games this year, so that's impressive. Then I come on down to Kingston. Kingston's having a really good year too. So the shock to me, just in the area, shock to me. It's not really in our area, but nothing that we'll talk about is South Doyle. South Doyle's a team that went deep in the playoffs last year, but this year just the bottom has fell out of them. So, and then Rockwood and Harriman. Harriman is still struggling a little bit. I understand they got their quarterback hurt in that game. We've got Harriman Friday night at Oliver Springs. Somebody will get a region win. Could be Oliver Springs. Could get their first win of the year. They're 0-5. I think Harriman is 1-5. Played a really tough schedule down the stretch here. Still got some tough games to play, but if you look at that, the Rockwood Harriman streak, one of the longest in the state of Tennessee being played, and Rockwood, pretty much put it on Harriman there.
Those Pals score. They scored 48 points on Lenore City, which is traditionally a pretty good little football team.
Well, Lenore City's another team that's sort of improved a little bit this year and playing a little bit better and doing a whole lot better.
Exactly right.
So, just some high school football is really, it's big time. There's Union County. Got them another win.
They scored a lot of points. I don't know the competition level there. Not real familiar with the teams up in that area, but that's 2 victories this year, and there was a long time they went without one.
Well, for a team that lost 28 straight games, 2 victories is great.
Coach Kerr's doing a great job up there.
Coach Kerr's doing a pretty good job.
Absolutely.
There's Region 2-1A, Cofield Greenback Midway, and Midway, a team that's had a new coach, but he's been there now for a couple of years. Got the program. He does a good job, but he's got them together now. They're playing pretty good football. There's Oliver Springs and Oakdale and Harriman sort of bringing up. I really thought Harriman would be in the mix there. I didn't think it'd be Sunbright, but
didn't work out.
It's just not worked out. And I don't know that the surprise right there is Midway, but you just felt like that the Midway coaches were going to get that where it needed to be, and I'm glad to see that because that guy down at Midway is he's a really good football coach. He's a really good guy.
Tell me about the McKinney kid, the size with him, arm strength. What division?
Well, I don't know what is he, 6'2", 6'3", 6'3 and a half. Listen, he can throw. Here's what I like about him. Not only can he throw the ball, but he can play defense too. Right. And he's not afraid to hit you. I mean, he almost tied a state record for interceptions in a game. He had 4, and I think the record's 5. I mean, he's that type of he's a physical football player on the defensive side of the ball. So, yeah, he leads the area and a prep extra on the interception. So he just seems like a really good kid. I think he's good in the classroom.
Getting a lot of exposure. So I'm sure somebody's really looking at him.
He's already committed. Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, good.
It's what he liked. I think he's capable of playing on up, but he's apparently pretty happy where he's committed. So congratulations to him. Hope he has a great career once he gets there. But I want to see Cofield win at state before he leaves.
So. Our buddy Jim Campbell went to Eastern Kentucky.
That's right, he did. Jim did.
He's still one of the leading scorers ever as a field goal kicker.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And kicked in the NFL.
Kicked in it for the Vikings, I believe. Isn't that right?
Exactly right.
So I tell you what. Let's talk about this before we jump out. There's Meigs County. We seen Meigs a couple of weeks ago down at Rockwood.
They play each other Friday night.
Who's that? Wartburg and Cumberland Gap are playing for 4th place. Meigs County, a team that Rockwood lined up with a couple of weeks ago, was a game of the week for us on Friday night, and we had a 14-14 tie. And then within a matter of less than 3 minutes, I said 3 minutes or less, it might be a little bit longer than that, but it seemed to me like 3 minutes, Meigs County hung 21 points up, just like that. I mean, just quickly. Their quarterback I think he threw for 2 or 3 and ran for 1 himself, so it wound up being a one-sided ball game after. Because you would have never known if you just come in after halftime to watch the game and seen the scoreboard, you'd say, well, there's something wrong with the scoreboard.
Right.
Because the second half didn't look nothing like the first half. It's like Meigs County woke up and said, hey, we better play because they're the number 1 ranked team in the state right now.
So, enrollment-wise, were they close to being a AAA team?
Meigs?
Meigs. It's the enrollment.
It used to be the largest 1A.
And they bumped up. Okay.
Yeah,
In basketball. They moved up to 2A in basketball. So They should be close to 3A in football.
Should be close to 3A.
Okay. All right.
Hey, we'll jump out and take our first break tonight, but we're live from Calhoun's on the River down in Oak Ridge. Come out and join Coach Gaddis and his show. It comes on at 8 o'clock following this one, and there's already people coming in. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
That was me, way back when. Some things have really changed over the years, but some things have gotten even better, like Reno's customer service. It's faster, friendlier, and we offer the name brands you ask for. East Tennessee's team dealer, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Outback models for up to 63 months during the model year-end sale at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area, all types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Chat. We're live in Oak Ridge at Calhoun's on the River, and come on down, and it's a good place to eat. Watch Coach Gaddis. He'll have his show at 8 o'clock coming on. It'll be live Coach's Corner. Well, now I think tonight's Robertsville Jefferson night. We done have a few young men in from each school, so it'll be interesting to see how many show up. ET, some controversy going on. What you take, and you know, the only reason I'm asking this because I've heard some high school coaches address this recently. What's the take on kneeling during the national anthem?
Pittsburgh thought they were doing the right thing, didn't go out, and I think that's getting ready to turn on them. I think Pittsburgh's probably in the biggest trouble of all the NFL teams. Dallas thought they were doing the best things. They kneeled for the
they kneeled before.
They kneeled before the flag came out, so they thought they cured both ills, you know. So I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I wish it hadn't got to this. The flag is one thing. Civil issues is another. There's ways to take that up and address it at other venues. But, you know, Kaepernick caught the attention of TV and a packed house one night, and now you see what it is. It's all the way down into Pee Wee's now, taking a knee.
I know, and it's in a roundabout way, it's pretty. I guess the right thing to be to say is sort of disrespectful.
Very disrespectful.
But Kaepernick did it. And I had somebody ask me, why you think he done it? Well, he done it. Look at the attention. But it sort of went away from the reason he done it. But I still think it's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's so many of them's doing it now, and I'm sure you could probably ask 3/4 of them. They're not really sure why they're doing that. They're just kneeling down. But I think the flag's a big deal, especially when you're kneeling beside a young man in a wheelchair without legs, with a uniform on.
That's
so
correct.
I just hope they cure it. You got a game tonight. Is the NFL game tonight?
No, it'll be tomorrow night.
Be tomorrow night. So it's probably going to mushroom before it cures itself, and I don't know if NFL directors has got enough nerve to face it and to settle it. I don't think so.
Well, they try to settle everything else. It'd be nice if they could settle it because it's a hot topic. That's for sure.
NASCAR told any driver they could find he would buy a Greyhound bus ticket for them to leave if they did that at NASCAR racing.
Understand that, then I understand that Richard Petty made a comment about somebody about they could just, if they didn't want to stand for it, they could leave the country. But understand the guy that's a majority owner, because Petty's just a figurehead there more than anything.
Right.
The guy that's a majority owner struck that down and said that's not exactly true. So
exactly right.
I don't know how I don't know how it would come off, but I sort of agree with you. The national anthem and the flag and everything. There's people fought for that. There's people lost their life. There's people lost limbs for that. There's families that's been devastated by war. I seen the other night. I forgot how many people they said had been killed, and 7,000 or something.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of people.
And then you got basketball coming up, and that'll mushroom there. I think all of them will take part in it.
Yes. And
have we seen it in the college ranks or high school? Do you know? Okay, not yet.
I don't think we've seen. I think
nobody heard me say that.
I think we've seen it in some high school. And matter of fact, I think there was an article in the paper this week with a area coach saying he's addressed it with his team. I think I'm right. That's one reason I brought it up. But
right, exactly.
Not that I'm wanting to see it for you because I really don't. I just think it's myself. I think it's disrespectful. But my opinion is like your opinion can be different. Mine, that's all right too. That's why it's a free country. So I guess
I'll become more of a Saturday afternoon football fan opposed to a Sunday afternoon one. No.
I'm not a big NFL fan anyway, so it don't make any difference. I mean, yeah, it does make some difference for me. I think it's disrespectful, but I'm not a big NFL fan anyway. To say that I'm going to boycott it, I don't watch it enough to boycott it, so you can't boycott something you don't watch a whole lot of. I'm like you, college and high school.
Yep.
It's really all I care about.
Absolutely.
I mean, I care more about that than I do anything, but the standing up for the national anthem has really it's become a hot item.
And I'll be honest with you, the NFL, when 9/11 happened, I don't think they allowed their people to show any kind of a symbol. I think when the policemen were killed in Dallas, I don't think they allowed them to show any respect to it, or whether they wanted to kneel, whether they wanted to stand up that night for whatever ball game. And I don't think they let them do that. And now they're letting them do this. I'm not sure NFL administration and ownership, I'm not sure they know which avenue to take. But I'm not sure of the laws, David. I don't know exactly what the laws let you do for the free speech out.
If you look at the freedom of speech, I don't know that you're not allowed to get away with it. But the only thing about the NFL that really does anything, it's cancer awareness, and they do the pink stuff.
Absolutely.
That's about it.
Absolutely.
But you're right. On 9/11, they asked to do something.
Couldn't do it.
They were denied.
Right.
They fined them if they wear a different shoe. They wanted to do. There was somebody they were wanting to do. I don't remember who it was, and a certain team wanted to do something, and they wouldn't let them do it. You're all right. There's a couple instances. So, I mean, it's whatever Roger Goodell wants to do is usually that's what happens.
And it seems like that's when he gets in hot waters, when he has to solve an issue, whether it's this or.
But here's what they don't maybe they do understand. It's a trickle-down effect. It trickles down from here. It trickles down from that to college.
Sure.
It trickles down from college to high school, and it trickles on down into the Optimus Club. So that's the trickle-down effect. So, you just need to have a little respect, I think. And that's just my opinion. Somebody else can be completely different, and you might argue it, and you might have a really good point, but that's my opinion. I had a guy to tell another. I was at a local racetrack many years ago.
Atomic?
Atomic. You're right. The guy, we standing on top of his trailer, and if anybody knows who my brother and my son we used to hang out with, they'll know I'm not going to say who they are. we hung out with them down there and was on top of their trailer in the infield, and they was getting ready to do the national anthem, and this guy wasn't going to stand up. And the owner of that trailer climbed down off that trailer and went to his truck. He come back, the biggest crescent ranch I've ever seen. He said, "Now you can stand up or I'll knock you off of it." I fought for that flag in this country, and this is my equipment, and you're going to do one or the other.
Exactly.
The guy got down, but he stood up. So that's how serious people take his stuff. So
I just wonder when they will stand up, when the people from that are veterans, and whether they're injured or not, but they are veterans. I wonder when they're going to make their front with this whole thing. How will that end up when they clash with the ones that's taking a knee?
Well, there's some mixed feel. You know, there's a couple of different vets have done a couple of different. They say they understand, but they also throw out what me and you've talked about tonight too.
Right.
You know, Ben Roethlisberger said, you know, the guy from Pittsburgh that stood out by himself.
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger said, "I wish I'd have stood with him."
Sure.
So.
And the story behind that is, I think he was going out, and somehow the tunnel got blocked off, and maybe that's tradition. They block it off before the team runs out.
Probably.
I'm not sure about that. But once he got out there, there wasn't no turning back, and he was out there by himself.
We got the top tens.
Yep, let's do it.
Let's go for it.
Yep.
There's 6A. Farragut's bumped up a spot. I think Blackman got beat this week by Oakland, and they were previous number 2. They got beat. You see how that's all Maryville sticking right in there. They just flip-flopped a little bit right there. But
Blackman's always around.
There's Mount Juliet still at 6-0, received the first place vote.
Sure,
so
that's good.
That's they'll wind up. Some of them teams will beat each other out, and that'll change a little bit more.
Charlie Daniels playing fiddle at halftime.
At halftime?
Yeah.
I heard that. And then there's Beach, Columbia.
Where is Beach? Give me some location here, Brad. Do you know where Beach?
I have no idea.
Is that a Memphis or a Nashville?
That's a good question.
Yep. They're always up. They're always up there. It must be a big high school.
Must be.
Well, you got Fulton. Maryville took it to them. David, you know them pretty well. Good quarterback. He's fresh. He's a
quarterback.
senior.
You can't have. I don't know how many turnovers they had. I think my brother told me they had 9 total. I don't know if they did or not. You turn the ball, have 9 different turnovers. I don't care what kind of turnovers they are. You do it 9 times. Hendersonville.
Hendersonville. Okay.
You're not going to win many. You're not going to win many ball games. Whether you're fumbling that many times or throwing interceptions or whatever, you're not going to win many ball games doing that.
Catholics worked their way up to 6. Of course, they went to Brentwood Academy, and they took their lumps down there, but they picked on a 6A team. Catholic did. So, and they have a good ball club this year.
I think Brentwood is ranked nationally the number 9th team in the nation. So they took it on the chin this past Friday night. They just didn't get beat. They got whipped.
Exactly.
They got it laid to them. They got the wood laid to them.
5A, there's some teams in there we haven't seen a lot of. Page, don't know who they are. Anderson County, of course, hopped up to 3. The Greenville, though, is who they're going to have to eventually go through.
Well,
if everything
works out for that, that's where they're headed. But I think if you want to talk about anything, we're talking about 3 and 5 this week, being Anderson County and East Ridge. East Ridge comes in at 5-0. You better get there early.
Will they bring anybody? That's a 3-hour drive, maybe?
You would think. You would think they would, being 5-0, playing a team at 6-0, and you're both ranked in the top 10. You would think that there would be a huge crowd there. I mean, there was a good crowd Friday night for the Heritage game. I'm only ragging Coach Terry when I talk about him.
So you did count them?
I did count them.
Okay.
There's a good crowd.
I don't know. That's a 3-hour drive, and David, but they're doing well. Usually crowds follow the team that's undefeated, and then they are.
I would think you would have a pretty good following. I would think. I mean. I would think it'd be a good game.
Don't know who they're winning 5-0. Probably in their little region down there in the Chattanooga area, and I don't know who they're playing against. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, go ahead. And 3A, number 1 stays up there is Alcoa.
Look at his record. Look at his record at 4-2.
Yep, 4-2. He's played a tough schedule.
Very unusual.
He's played a pretty mean schedule too.
And your surprise team might be their number 4, Austin East. I'm glad to see that.
It's a team traditionally in the past you would talk about them. They had a really good, used to be AE was up there. AE was a dominant team winning the state.
Football and basketball.
Football and basketball at one time. But, they've turned it around over there. Well, I think the biggest thing, you got a coach. They've had a steady coach for a while.
It's been there. You're
And
right.
anywhere where you have a steady coach for a while, I believe it
Eventually
pays off.
It does, absolutely.
It pays off eventually. So they've had a steady coach. So you keep rolling right along there. You know, that'll all work out in the long run there.
It's really not
Let's
familiar
move
with any of the rest of the teams. Okay.
Yep.
And
There's Meigs County that I talked
Meigs
about
County.
earlier,
Right.
and Union City. Union City, a team that I think a couple years ago beat Coalfield in single A in the state championship. So there you've got two really good teams at the top. Then you got some, Happy Valley that's got a couple first place votes. Happy Valley always plays really good because you consider where they play, and then when they get in the playoffs, somebody from down here always goes up there, and it seems like they knock them off.
Right.
Oneida fell a spot because they got beat last week by York, I believe. It got.
You're kidding.
No, I believe it's a York team that didn't allow Oneida to score a point. If I'm right, am I correct?
Coalfield struggled with that.
And Coalfield struggled.
Wow.
That's been the closest game for Coalfield, but a York team, it must be pretty good. I'm sure Tony Lambert was a little bit upset. I can hear him talking now about it, but there's still some big games coming. And then if you look down in 1A, Powerhouse always, it seems like it's at the top. It's South Pitt. I don't see how they keep.
Never changes. Coalfield's always there, and Greenback.
Those names, you thought Greenback might be down just a little bit this year. Clowland, I think, a couple places that Coalfield's went to play in the playoffs a couple times and had to go up there to play.
Have you guys been to Greenback this year?
No, it's at Coalfield next Thursday.
Okay, so you won't see the pickups backed into the fence.
Unless
Okay.
it's in the playoffs.
That's just a neat setting for a high school.
Only if we lose to them.
Only if we lose.
Okay.
You notice how we said that we.
I heard that.
Nebraska.
I heard that.
Well, I'm going to the game because it is one heck of a ball game. So it's a great place to go see a ball game. Anyway, there's your top 10s across the state from 6A down to 1A. That's what we cover. I tell you, we'll jump out. We'll take another commercial break. We'll be right back here in just a couple minutes at Calhoun's in Oak Ridge.
Rome Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Rome Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Rome Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Rome Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Rome Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well,
And if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
You don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
SL Bowman and Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
If you play team sports, you want the best gear and the top name brands. That's why at Reno Sporting Goods we offer the best and safest gear from top manufacturers like Adidas, Russell, Wilson, and more. Reno Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Chat. We're live in Calhoun's on the river in Oak Ridge, and Coach's show will be preceding their show.
Great crowd. I see Coach Brian Wilson here. He's a Clinton graduate. And,
Yep.
Good to see him. He's coaching Jefferson.
Yeah, Coach Jefferson. It is. When we talked about one hot item a while ago, now let's talk about maybe a bigger hot item.
Let's do another one. What?
Tennessee.
24-17. The Gov said, count on it.
All I can tell you is tell the Gov, don't walk home, okay, as he's done before. You can tell him I said that.
There's only a few people know that.
Listen, no, but if you don't know who they were talking about, it's Ron Rodden. But anyway, he thinks Tennessee's going to win the national championship still, probably.
Every year.
Mm-hmm. It's every year. So his thinking's not right. I don't know if it's going to be 24-17 or not, but I don't know. Butch Jones has got himself in the world. He's got a mess on his hands. His comments at the media the other day just went. I mean, he just sort of lost it a little bit.
I think it's a very serious game for him. It's a very serious game for the University of Tennessee as a whole, but for him personally, this will really put him in a hot seat if he does not. I'm going to a luncheon next Wednesday that the athletic director will be speaking, and I'm sure he won't take question and answers if Tennessee loses that Georgia game.
He might not show up.
Right. But anyway, it's very crucial. But Tennessee seems to play Georgia well every year, whether it's down in Georgia or up here. We've got some injuries, but we've got some healthy guys coming back. I don't know. You catch a couple passes in the Florida game and kick a field goal or two, you beat them. You're noticeably better than they are. Didn't turn out that well. I don't know the reasonings there, David. But you had the team to win that ball game, and I know that's not what you want to hear, but I think that's what you saw on TV. Tennessee was the best team, but didn't pull it out. But Kentucky didn't either.
And then they struggled mightily last week, with UMass, and they don't do very well. And then there's some controversy with what happened to a player, and then Coach Jones goes crazy. Maybe crazy is not the right word. He goes off. He goes off on the media. They're making more of it than it really is, and I don't know whether if they were making more of it than it really is or not. But for an individual that makes $11,000 a day.
Yep.
That's what he's paid. $11,000 a day. I think you ought to have to. I've said this for 2 years now. Ron Berry disagrees until now. I think you ought to have to answer the questions till they're every one answered. I think it's just his obligation. I mean, he's the head man of the football team, and he ought to have to answer those questions. Is he in trouble? Yes. I think the seat's hotter than what. I think he can fire himself and not really realize it.
I think my answer to that is I'm not so sure they can afford to fire him this year, David.
If he loses 5 games, you don't think they will?
You got a $6 million buyout. Some of his assistants have buyouts, probably amount to $10 million. And the next coach you got coming in, which, man, nobody's even got a fathom of an idea, is probably going to make more than Butch is making right now. So it's going to be an expensive adventure for them to do that. I don't know if the AD and the fans is willing to. They may just sit at home the next year and not buy the season tickets.
You
but
might be right.
But you lost a Florida game that you thought you should have won. I think they were the better team. Things did not work out well at Florida, obviously. The UMass game, you're beat down mentally and physically. You're not going to play a good ball game that game. Yeah, we can get them up every game. You cannot get these kids up every game. You know that. You've been around the game too long. You just cannot do that. And that was one of those games. So I'm looking for a bounce back. Dorman, he doesn't do a lot of stupid things. He's not flashy by any means. And the defense knows he's not going to run the ball. That changes the defensive style toward Tennessee's offense. And you got the craziest running back in the SEC, in John Kelly. I mean, he runs mad and he's very effective.
Yeah, but Dormady is not. He doesn't fit. The offense doesn't fit him.
Absolutely not.
He's not a shotgun quarterback.
You got to be able to run.
He's a pro type, drop back passer type quarterback. I mean, that's more to his game.
The read option, you read it, and if you don't like what you're saying, you've got the ability to. Josh Dobbs could run 9 yards and almost get your first down.
The other guy, I can't never say his name, Garrett Tomo or whatever his name is.
Good, close.
It's close. I didn't mess it up too bad, but he comes in and it's like, does he wonder if he even practices?
He don't even look like he takes a snap. Seriously.
It's all messed up. I mean, I don't know.
And he sits on the sideline. And to me, it looks like he's pouting, but that might be.
But and I made that comment earlier for the Georgia Tech game. He didn't sit with the quarterback. He didn't sit with the quarterback coach. He sat on a cooler. Right. He looked like he was mad. And I had somebody tell me, "Hey, you probably don't know what he was told before the game.
Exactly.
He could have been told before the game." In the first quarter or start of the second quarter, you're going to take some snaps.
And he didn't.
Didn't happen. Right. So you wonder if that's the case. And then Butch Jones comes out in the next week and says, yes, he will take some snaps.
Well, the media made a lot of that. The camera stayed on him for a prolonged period of time, and you immediately go to transfer next year. And that's what the people start up. The media does that. It's just
I just wonder.
That's false play-by-play.
Ron Berry always says this: the reason we had a quarterback competition, they knew who the quarterback was probably coming out of spring drills.
Sure.
Now Berry didn't say that, but this is what he's trying to tell me. This is what he always tells me. They knew who the quarterback was coming out of spring probably. They wanted to keep competition going on into fall practice. Why? So the kid wouldn't leave and transfer out of spring.
You do that. And
you keep the kid, you get him there. That's why they've played him so they're burning some eligibility. So if he does leave, he's going to have to set a year anyway.
Is the third string quarterback on scholarship, or is he a scholarship player? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So,
I'm like Brad. Who is it? Nobody knows.
You may take super care of your second string quarterback, and don't give him a lot of. Because you don't have a third.
And then the next controversy is the kicking game.
Well,
we don't know who's going to. Is it if it's over 46? Is it the other guy? If it's under 46, is it Medley? Who is it?
Well, when he first came out on the field and kicked the 50-yarder, I guess, or attempted to do that, I said, well, Medley's hurt because here's this guy, and then Medley came in the next one. I said, well, he's not hurt. Anyway, I don't know. That was strange. They don't write about it, and I never seen about it.
Well, so not only do we have a controversy at quarterback, I don't know if we really have a controversy at quarterback. The fans have made that. Maybe the media has made that. Maybe, and we're part of the media. Maybe we've made that, but then now we've got a controversy at the kicker. I don't know if there's ever been a controversy for a kicker anywhere.
Well, and then you got your linebackers, and you got a couple hurt. You've got Colton Jumper, which I feel sorry for the guy because he don't no more get in the game. To radio and TV says the young man is not fast enough to play to the corners, and sometimes he gets crossed up on the plays, which I'm taking as if he don't know the assignments. I feel sorry for the kid.
Now, Jonathan Cox, I don't know if Brad had made it back to the studio yet Friday night. Jonathan Cox made some comments Friday night that he got some inside info on some stuff, and I didn't ask for. I listened to him and I called in a couple times and even talked to him Friday night. But I don't know where Cox got his info. He was telling a couple things about the Ball for Life director and that Anthony Davis, I think.
It is, absolutely.
Antone Davis, okay. First of all, he talked about him. Supposed to be going with a team.
Yeah.
Didn't get to go to Georgia Tech. Lost his seat. Lost his seat to Dormady's future father-in-law, which is a big donor.
There we go.
Okay. He drove. He drove from Knoxville to Atlanta to the game. Davis did.
Well, maybe they give him a.
This guy's Butch Jones' buddy. He's supposed to be a donor or something too, I think Cox said. Jumper. Talking about Jumper?
Yeah.
His dad's a big donor too.
Oh, seriously?
That's what they said. That's what he said. Now, he told, and I can't think the player's name he said they eat lunch with. Used to do some Sunday stuff on channel. I can't remember his name. He told who it was. He talked about those two incidents, and I reckon the way he talked, former players want Jones gone. They want him gone. Whether they have any influence over the program or not, I have no idea. They said they want him gone.
Run into Albert Hainsworth at the lake this summer, and I got to sit down, and he's more than willing to sit down and talk a lot of stuff, but he ended up on football. And after he sat on me, he's a pretty good sized guy. But he said, don't do a lot of waging on this year's football season, and before football season started. So I took that as he wasn't a Butch Jones fan. And that's alumni right there.
And that could very well be true. Yep. Tell you, we're going to jump out. We'll take another break, and we got another hot item to talk about, ET. You're on the hot seat tonight. We'll be right back here in just a few minutes.
I'm on the roll.
That was me, way back when. Some things have really changed over the years, but some things have gotten even better, like Reno's customer service. It's faster, friendlier, and we offer the name brands you ask for. East Tennessee's team dealer, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Outback models for up to 63 months during the model year-end sale at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Chat. We're live at Calhoun's in Oak Ridge. Following our show will be the Coach's Corners. Stay tuned. Coach Gaddis, he'll talk about their big win this past Friday night and talk about the upcoming game this week with the Cards Beepers. So the third hot topic item, ET, and is, I guess, the big thing that's happened in college basketball. And today, Rick Pitino pretty much, I think it's in his contract, they have to suspend him before they can fire him, and that firing will come in 10 days. Pretty much, as his lawyers already said, it's pretty much he's been fired.
Right.
So Rick Pitino bites the bullet, and there's some college coaches probably thought, well, NCAA, if they get us, we'll get this. They didn't realize the feds were going to get them, and some of them are facing 80 years, some of the charges.
Well, does this have a little bit to do with the Adidas? Is this
it's got something to do with Adidas, and they say there's some stuff coming down the pike about Nike. That'll happen on the Nike side. There's more of it to come.
They say they're all doing it.
And they say there's still some more. They say there's still some more heads to roll. But we're talking at Louisville, some $100,000 was funneled through the number 14 player last year in the country, a recruit. And apparently he was the last kid in the top 100 to commit. committed to Louisville.
Right.
Also today, Louisville loses 2 commitments that were for next year.
Right.
One was number 49. I want to say the other was number 8 or something. They're already within an hour of the announcement today. They announced that they're decommitting.
Well,
I would pretty much think Rick Pitino is through.
Well, that and a lot would think that would kill Louisville, but there's still some kids that's probably going to go there to see if they can keep it revived. And the coach that they get in there should be a very reputable coach. Well, that's an awful good basketball job.
Talked about today, not only did Pitino get the coach fired, Pitino's got the athletic director fired. I listened to Feinbaum a lot during the evenings, and they had a guy today said there was more people cheering in Louisville that would happen because that Pitino and them had such a stranglehold on it. Not only that, they had the stranglehold on the media. They controlled just about everything.
Sure.
That was Bobby Petrino's the athletic director was his last tie there. His buyout goes to practically nothing if the athletic director got terminated first. They look for Petrino probably to be gone. They think they're a really clean house up there. A lot of people's calling for Louisville to get the death penalty. I don't think that'll happen, but that's what a lot of people are calling for.
Well, Messi Trail has followed Pitino for a long time. He had a lot of close calls, I think, at Kentucky. Didn't get called. They never get called at Kentucky. But things have really followed him at Louisville. How many bullets you're going to dodge until one of them hits you, and it finally did.
Hey, I heard an interesting comment today by Jeff Van Gundy. He made this comment about college basketball. If you want to play at a Power 5 conference college,
right,
whether it's football or whether it's basketball or whatever, that we do away with recruiting you, that we go to a draft. And if you're a Power 5, you can play for anybody. If you're going to play for a Power 5, you get drafted.
Right.
So
in college.
In college.
Okay.
You take all this out, you take all that recruiting stuff out, and you get drafted. So if you're wanting to go to Kentucky, but the next Power 5 is whoever, and they draft you, that's where you go. And as he said today, if you don't want to participate in that, and you don't want to play in one of the Power 5s, go play wherever you want to. If you want to go pro, you can go pro. You just got to play in the D League, or you got to go overseas. But you can't out of high school go do that, play in the D League or overseas.
Well, probably something will take a change, but I'm not sure we're going to see it in the next 4 or 5 years. I think it will take a change because most coaches hate the recruiting trail, David. They hate to go into a home. To me, I would like that part of it, but maybe after 10 years you do get tired of that.
I think it's a neat idea, but just saying we're going to do like the draft, like the NFL and the NBA and all that does. I mean, that would sort
How
of
do you
be,
send a kid across the pond? You say you're overseas?
You said you can go overseas out of high school. Think about sending an 18-year-old over. Man, that'd be tough.
I don't know.
And I don't know how much money's over there, but I guess it's enough you can make it on for a year and get back here. I don't know how much money you make in the D League neither, but apparently you can go right out of high school and go to either one of those places.
Well, how many colleges are you going to run to sending some of these great athletes overseas? I mean, they need to stay here in the United States.
As I'm coming down today, I'm listening to Jimmy Himes and him talking, and I know we're about close on time here. I just want one more comment. I see where the CFL is looking at Johnny Manziel, and they've given him some guidelines.
He's went up there and talked.
Commissioners give him some guidelines. You follow these guidelines, we'll let a team draft you next year and pick you up possibly. There's a running back from Alabama that just signed with the CFL team up there, Trent Richardson, I believe who it was.
Good talent. I like to see them get a reserve, an uplifting there because I always liked it. University of Tennessee used to have a lot of players in it. I kept up with them, but not so much now.
Connor Tollaway.
But I like to see Manziel go. I think he's a great talent. Now, if he has the right head on, he's doing a whole lot better. But he's a great football talent.
Appreciate you filling in for Ron Berry tonight. He's a little under the weather. Hopefully he'll be with us Friday night. Our game of the week Friday night is the Harriman Blue Devils roll in and play the Olive Springs Bobcats. We'll pregame it. We're on at 7 o'clock. Me and Barry will, if he's able to be there. Until next Wednesday night here in the locker room, we look forward to it. Come on, and you still got time to get down here and see Coach Gaddis. And everybody, they got an easy game Friday night. Carnes will be a rollover for him. He'll win by 21 probably. Go Wildcats. See you next week.
That was me, way back when. Some things have really changed over the years, but some things have gotten even better, like Reno's customer service. It's faster, friendlier, and we offer the name brands you ask for. East Tennessee's team dealer, Reno's Sporting Goods.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
All right, crew, let's get started. Hurry.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
If you play team sports, you want the best gear and the top name brands. That's why at Reno Sporting Goods we offer the best and safest gear from top manufacturers like Adidas, Russell, Wilson, and more. Reno Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Everything we do is in search of more go. If it can withstand 0 degrees, can it go -20? If it can run through 5 inches of water per hour, can it go to 6? We go. So it goes. So you can go. It's hard to stop a train.
We put a lot of love into our award-winning ribs to ensure you'll love them too. Calhoun's, over 30 years of love and ribs.
It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.